It's the main news feed that I'm after now. Of course, all of this content here that repeats 4 times throughout our layout. And as we know already, there's a bunch of things going on here. We have the article happening, we have the news div and an H2 and some news meta in there as well. So let's get this stuff under control over inside our external style sheet. So once again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm inside my medium resolution media query. I'm going to go and find his news class rule. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating some rules underneath this guy. Once again, just using tab to help space apart my rules here a little bit. So the first guy that I'm going to create here is going to be called .news space H2, so a heading 2 inside my news div. Again, if you need a refresher on how the HTML was structured, you can go and check it out inside index.html. And this guy, I'm going to go font-size, :space. I'm going to go 120% for this guy. And I'm going to set up margin-bottom on this fella. And I'm going to use 5 pixels for that. There we are. All right, wonderful stuff. Now, once again, I'm going to keep moving here. I want to get all the rules created first, and then maybe we can go and preview everything inside our browser. Yourself, you might want to preview everything in your browser as we create things, so you can certainly do that if you like. Don't forget that my H2s are hyperlinks. They're anchors. So I'm going to go .news space H2 space A, because I want to control the formatting of those hyperlinks. First of all, I want to get rid of the underline once again, so text-decoration, :space, and I'm going to say none. And the other thing I want to do is I want to format the color of these guys as well. So I'm going to go color, :space, RGB. And I'm going to use that same red color that we had seen earlier on with the high resolution layout. So once again, the RGB color values are going to be 189, 30, 44. That should do the job for us. There we are. Good stuff. Go ahead and hit enter to move down to the next available line. I'm now going to go after the news meta, the news metadata. So I'm going to go .news meta. There we are. And throw in my curly brackets to get these guys under control. I'm going to reduce down the font size just a little bit here, font-size, and I'm going to go 70%. And I'm going to throw in some space on top of these guys, so margin top, and I'm going to use 5 pixels for that. I'm going to float them, once again, over on the right-hand side of the layout. And I'm going to change their font as well. Font family, there we go. And again, I'll use Verdana for consistency. Okay, there we go. Now we have just one more rule to go here, and that's going to be the hyperlink inside our news meta div. So it's going to be news meta, or .news meta, I should say, space A. And once again, you may or may not have hyperlinks in there. I do. All I want to do is I want to set their color. And I want to set their color to match the color of the hyperlinks on the H2s. So once again, 189, 30, and then 44, followed by the closing semicolon. All right, perfect. Great, good stuff. I love how quickly we're moving through this stuff. Go ahead and save up your work, and if you're ready, you can head back to your browser and refresh. And there we go. Now we have something like this happening. Wonderful stuff. Great. Now, once again, we have our content there down at the bottom running into our footer. Do you remember how we fixed that? Well, what we can do here is, well, we could head back to our external style sheet. And you know what we could do is we could cheat. We could go down to our high resolution layout and we could go, now how did I solve that? Was that something to do with the news meta, or remember how we did it? It was actually the article. I don't know if you remember this or not. We found our redefined article and we set margin-bottom 50, or at least I used 50 there. So I'm going to do the same thing here up for my redefined article. This is now inside my medium resolution media query. Now, I'm not sure if 50 is going to be too much or not enough, or who knows, but it's a nice starting point at least. So I'm going to go margin-bottom, :space 50px, just like that. Go and refresh this. There we go. Something like that, I think, looks much better. So again, yourself, you may want to use a slightly lower value, maybe 40, or maybe you want to space these apart even more, maybe crank it up to 60 or 65 or something. But anyway, that's looking really, really good. The only thing we have left for this initial round of formatting for our medium resolution layout is the footer. So let's wrap this up.